Okay, let's talk about something that nobody prepares you for when you get married, and that is how easily intimacy can disappear and how quickly disconnection can sneak in when you're not looking. And it's not because you don't love each other or because there's something wrong with you. It is because you might be making one of these 6 very common sex mistakes that slowly erode intimacy and connection. A lot of the time without even noticing or realizing it until it is too late. And I am pretty much an expert in messing this up because I have made every single one of these mistakes in my past relationships. And I've seen them repeated again and again with the hundreds of women that I've worked with inside of my program, the Intimacy Accelerator. So if you are married and worried about the lack of sex or the disconnection in your relationship, this video is for you so you do not have to make all those mistakes that I did. So my name's Hannah, by the way, also known as the Libido Fairy. And over the last 5 years, I've helped over 1,800 women learn to enjoy sex and feel desire in their relationships. And in this video, I'm going to help you understand the exact 6 mistakes that you might be making that get in the way of the intimacy that you actually do want. And I'm going to tell you what to do instead as well. So let's get into it. Mistake number 1 is putting your partner's needs first always. And this mistake ends marriages and it looks like love, like it's confusing, but over time it builds resentment. It's this over-prioritization of your partner's needs, especially in the bedroom, while you completely ignore your own, which I am literally the queen of. Like, I get it. My dad has bipolar disorder, and around the age of 12-ish, I was his caretaker, making sure he was okay, putting my needs on the back burner, and getting a lot of reinforcement for being a good daughter. But that pattern followed me into relationships. Daddy issues, you know? But I became the over-functioning, over-giving partner, and I thought, if I just love him hard enough, if I take care of everything, then we'll be happy. And that dynamic seeped into my sex life. I didn't ask for what I wanted. I didn't even know what I wanted. Sex became another thing that I did to caretake and to please and make other people happy. And when you do that for long enough, you stop wanting sex at all because your body learns sex equals obligation, not pleasure. Sex becomes equated with negativity and stress, and your body wants to do anything in its power to avoid more of that. And eventually you end up resentful and not wanting to be intimate. So here is what to do instead. Start paying attention to what you like, even outside of the bedroom. You can let your partner know when something feels good or when it doesn't, both in and out of the bedroom, and spend time focusing on and learning what gives you pleasure in the bedroom and having more of that. Mistake number 2 is waiting to feel turned on before you initiate. So I want to talk about initiation because a lot of women wait to feel turned on before they initiate anything, or they wait till they feel totally turned on to say yes to sex. But most women do not experience desire that way. Like, we've been taught that desire should just hit you like hunger or thirst, and that if you just loved your partner, you'd be fantasizing about sex all the time. But that's not how most female desire works. About 85% of women experience something called responsive desire, which requires pleasurable inputs to turn the heat up and to lead you into feeling like you want to have sex. So kissing, touching, emotional connection, a pleasant environment happens, and then desire shows up after that, after there's some physical arousal already in the body. So if you're waiting to feel totally turned on before you say yes to sex, you're literally just going to be waiting forever. You need those pleasurable inputs first. And what makes this worse is that so many of us have this like all or nothing mindset when it comes to sex. Like, if I kiss him for too long, it means we have to have sex, or you have to be totally clear on exactly what you want before you start, or if you don't have penetration, it doesn't count. And I used to do this all the time. Like, I wouldn't even cuddle because I didn't want it to lead to anything I wasn't ready for. But that just created distance and rejection where I could have created more connection. So the fix is having a lot more kissing, cuddling, playful affection in your relationship without expectations or pressure. If you get to a point where you don't want to go further, it is okay to say, hey, can we just stay here for a minute? Or I'm really enjoying this, but I don't really want it to go all the way tonight. Or let's just slow this down. I'm about to share the rest of the mistakes, but if you are liking this video so far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more intimacy and relationship education. Okay, mistake number 3 is not talking about sex at all. Now, I know that this can feel really scary, can feel really hard to talk to your partner about sex. I used to avoid these conversations like the plague for so many reasons, because I didn't want to hurt my partner's feelings, because I didn't know what I wanted, because I didn't know how to start the conversation, because I was so afraid to feel awkward. And honestly, because I didn't also want to admit that I wasn't satisfied, because it felt like I was failing, like I was doing something wrong. But I have literally never met a good man who does not want to please you in the bedroom or wants to know how to do a better job. But they're not mind readers. Just like you, your partner did not get a manual on how to please you or how your body works. It took me so long to realize that not talking about sex was making me more disconnected, not protecting me. So just start small. Share with your partner what you liked about the last time you were intimate, or tell them about something new that you're curious to try, or just share a podcast or share this YouTube video as a conversation starter, or just say to them, hey, can we have a conversation about how to make sex feel better for both of us? Communication is lubrication. Okay, mistake number 4 is neglecting emotional intimacy. This happens kind of slowly over time, because the longer a relationship goes on, it feels really easy to just take your partner for granted. You start to take on new roles in the relationship and forget that they're your lover. And then when your days are filled with logistics and busy, you can go weeks without feeling truly seen or connected to your partner. But when emotional intimacy drops, physical intimacy often follows, especially for women. And for me, I knew this was happening when I'd be sitting next to my partner on the couch and feel alone. Or we'd watch Netflix every night in our sweats. Like, we were together, but we were not connected. And what helps this is remembering the effort and the care that you put in at the beginning of the relationship. Like, just think about what you did then that you don't do now, like asking deeper questions to get you to know your person, being curious about their life or their feelings, being playful and silly together, putting in that extra effort to like go out on dates or compliment them or give them nice little presents or things like that. All of that really, really matters. And when you bring emotional intimacy back, your body starts to feel safe again, and safety is where pleasure lives. Okay, this next one is really hard to admit, but it's really real. And mistake number 5 is straight up avoidance. Avoiding your partner's touch, avoiding eye contact, avoiding any moment that might lead to sex or intimacy. I used to do this all the time, pretending to be asleep, saying that I had a headache, putting on baggy clothes to go to bed, sleeping on the edge of the bed so my partner wouldn't touch me or initiate. But what I learned is that avoiding something only makes you more afraid of it. This is how the avoidance loop works. You feel scared of something, and then you avoid it. And when you avoid it, it helps you stay safe and comfortable, so your body feels relief. But that reinforces to you and to your body and your brain that you should avoid it again. And so the next time you encounter it, there's more fear and the cycle continues. But the longer that you avoid sex or intimacy, the more the pressure builds, the harder it is to come back together. The way out of this loop is consistent, gentle, pressure-free exposure. So start with small moments of connection, reminding your body this is safe, my partner is safe, this can feel good, and you're allowed to take it slow. Now, finally, mistake number 6 is not prioritizing sex at all. And I get that like making time for sex or scheduling sex sounds very unsexy, but at the beginning of your relationship, you scheduled sex. That Friday date night, shaving legs, sexy text, anticipation. You were scheduling sex, and it worked because it created desire. It created this like anticipation. And in long-term relationships, desire sometimes needs a little bit more structure, not rigidity, but intention. So put it on the calendar, create rituals around it, let your partner know that you're really looking forward to it, because when you plan for intimacy, it doesn't just happen more often, it becomes something that you and your partner can both really get excited about and really get into. Now, if you're making that mistake or any of the mistakes that I just shared, I just want to remind you that these aren't failures. They're just patterns of behavior that can absolutely be changed. So just pick one of them to focus on this week. And if you want a deeper dive into why you might not be feeling any desire at all, I want you to watch this video right here where I walk you through the real reasons behind low libido and what to do next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.